Good morning, Nalongo Investments. Good morning. Today we are going to talk about specialization. I was prompted to make sure that I was prompted to talk about this. If you don't know, yesterday, the rain from yesterday, this place was flooded. As a matter of fact, I had taken spacers out of my car and putting them back in so that it's a land cruiser. Ngenda jongizamu spacers ayo ebere wakulunga rafu. Mazzi gabadde wano ewantu. You see all that risotto? All that is the result of the water that was here. Cars started turning back. I don't know how much jam was there in the evening, but this place was flooded. You know what they call a flood? It was flooded. Woo, woo. And that was around 5:30 when it started raining. This place, Kawempe, Rukoba, all those places were flooded. It was bad. You see, all these places, this entire place was flooded. This is why he said. After they made the channel, I thought that it would make it better. It was flooded. Yeah, but I hope you guys are doing well. So I've seen a lot of we've seen a lot of challenges in our life, right? And let it be when you fall sick and you have to go see a doctor. Let it be when you have to do a soil test at your plot, when you want to fix your car, when you want to do a project, when you want to do a business. In every aspect of our lives, I think it's only one area of our lives that doesn't need specialization. So it's only one aspect in our lives that doesn't require specialization. Good morning, October. Good morning, Zach. Good morning, Ashim. You're eating something. You need to eat all your snack. And you need to stop lying. You need to start being honest. When you do something, you say, yes, I've done it. I'm sorry. So it's only in relationships where we don't want our partners to be specialists. Because just imagine if your partner was a specialized cook. Nenge ebirala tabimanyi ng'amanyi kufumba kwokka bw'atandika okufumba naye ng'ate ebirala kapere. I don't think anyone would appreciate that, right? So we want our partners to be all round. But in every other aspect of our lives, we need people to specialize. And I find that everything else we need a specialist. Like if you're going to be a motorcycle rider, a border guy, specialize and be a specialized border guy. Ngabo otuula ku piche yo kujivuga. Buli muntu govuga gambo yo guy yananvuganga. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. But I think it's one challenge that we have as a country. Because of the economic situation, almost everyone gambles. Nti osanga kati omusajja oyo avuga kigege omulaba. Lira avuga taxi echa n'omusanga nga avuga boda. Ate oludako n'omusanga nga azimba. Okitegeera. Nga ate byonna nga bwe tubyogerako nga talina kyamanyi nti akimanyi. You know the saying that be a master of one thing or be a slave to many. That is very true. If you fail to specialize at one thing, you're going to be a weak person at many things. I think it also goes back to also relationships. If you're the kind of person that refuses to have one solid relationship, you'll have all these people that assumably are in a relationship with you, and no one is actually in a relationship with you. Because with time they also start discovering that this guy is a player or this chick is a player. So even in careers, even when you're doing work, if you want to see good things happen in your life, from my experience, I've realized that just specialize. When you specialize, then you start studying that industry where you have decided to be a specialist. Okay? And when you decide to be a specialist, then you start to research, you start to read more. I just saw a woman walk away from a guy who was proposing to her on the street in Bunga. I told you so, what don't you go back to restaurant? These guys, this is not our practice. We don't propose to women in public. It's not African. Tuswala. Those are weak men. You don't do that in public. Like, what are you trying to do? I find that to be blackmail. October. Good morning, Pade, Mark, Mavo Gadget Center, Bill Gadgets. You guys, I find that the practice of us proposing to women in public is blackmail. Like Chichimbo, or in public, Uganda. And I find that most of these guys that are actually proposing to these chicks, the chicks have actually cheated. And this guy is trying to show the chick that, you know what, I'm the serious one out of those guys, all these guys you have. That's why they walk away from them. Dr. Jonathan is saying, but there is a school of thought that you should have an idea about variety of things for better survivability. When you are a jack of only one trade, you narrow your market base. You know, Dr. Jonathan, I'm not saying don't have ideas of so many things. Have ideas, but specialize. Specialize. You know, Dr. Jonathan, it's important that when they talk about a certain thing, you are the guy. You are the guy. Dr. Jonathan is in field. You know this guy, Bamuita Kambu, the skin guy in Wandegea. That guy specialized that skin. I have no idea how you guys go about specializing, but from what I've heard, you do a bachelor's, you are a GP, okay? That's what I've heard. You can educate me. Then you go to a master's and you specialize, and then you can proceed and do other masters and no other things. But you can decide to do one master's and specialize in that particular thing, and then you can go on with a PhD and all that, and then you become a consultant. Is that how it works? But you see that guy Kambuku, he charges 50,000 per consultation, whether you were here yesterday, whether you were here in the morning. Every time you come back to see him, you pay 50,000. But that guy has a line. You get it? He's the only doctor in that place. He's old, but he has a line. But do you know what it means to make 50,000 or 50 people every day? That's something. ne bwaba takuwadde eddagala gwe kasita oba ng'omuwadde ekyetaano kiri asigala ayita okitegeera Dr. Jonathan so this for me the notion of specialization I think that's one guy that I've always been using kati nze bwe mbavuga speed limit oyo guy yampisiza yavuga ki kuba ndi mu nsanvu zennyini ate guy yampisiza n'ampitirako ddala ne yeeyongerayo kati oyo ali mu speed ki Good morning, Deep in Coffee. Dr. Jonathan, now the challenge Kambugu he has built his business around his name. When he falls sick, he won't work in short term, the long term. Oh, exactly. And that's, remember when I was talking about you not putting your name in your business. You remember that? It's important that your business is independent of you. As long as they know there is a doctor there, because doctor chiwanuka njagala gwa abanda ngomugatofayo oyo ali ku ddwaliro oyo akolera ddala nganzi ayina ne byansingako nga they can go and actually be attended to by those guys. Now apparently the guys that come to Kambugu's clinic, some of them don't even know Kambugu. They have come to that place because that place is known to treat skin things, which they are skin ailments. So even if they found another doctor there, they'll probably trust it. But he has not done it. Which he has not. Anyway, Dr. Ranga. Dr. Ranga, good morning. Let me tell you, yesterday we left town early. Let's try to say in Boise at around 5:30. You people, the place was flooded. The moro kangenda kuda munji wanike nalinji jemu ngatecha alilandi kurola. Neka tingenda jiwanika ina jizamu pesa. Efukila ndi kurola. You know when I put those pesos, it's as tall as a RAV4. Right now it's almost the normal height of a Corolla. But when I put my spacers, and I had kept them at home, when I put my spacers, this car becomes a Land Cruiser. Almost everything yo emero. Dr. Ranga, everything emero katingenda jiwanika. Unajiulira nzaga mazi twice mu mazi. You know, I even actually consumed fuel that I wasn't supposed to consume because I kept this engine running for like 2 hours when I wasn't supposed to. Why? Because we went through water, a lot of water. So I wanted to make sure that if there was any water in the exhaust pipe, it would actually evaporate out. And I wanted to make sure that over the engine, if there was any water, it would dry up. Yeah, but there was a lot of water in Boise. You see that road that connects from Kawala to Kawempe? That place was flooded like 80% of the way. And our SUV but we got home. You know the guys that have used Bombo Road. You know the place that's called Watindo. That place was actually not flooded. There was no rain that side. Yeah, so specialization, guys. Specialize and niche down in one particular skill and be very good at that one. This is where the money and success. I found that exactly that. Of course, there are even industries where, like industries that have their own challenges. Like my industry, the performing arts industry, we have our own challenges. But still, specialization will pay off at one time. One time, the UN or the government will be looking for someone that can do a particular thing very well. And if you know the thing, it's not just about actually specialization. Specialize and make sure people know you exist and you're the specialist. Don't just specialize and leave it at that. You need to specialize and make sure people know you have specialized and you're the best at that. Oh, wait.
Sorry, Miss Lorraine.
So, specialize. This is mine. Good. You need to specialize and make sure that people actually know that you have specialized and you're really good at that. Which take it. Dr. Ranga ngenda wanika korora nga yenkana benzi yo wanda kati buno benzi ndimo kutunira wano email chemanye eno benzi yeringe iyo simanya yo naye bwimpanika korona yange besinga ku eno benzi ya mu buwanvu katono ebampanvu ngenda era kati yabadampa milioni 13 tebe namero ojiwa nkono batompa milioni 19 kuba kati ebefuuse SUV mbasi kyatunda Corolla ya bulijjo mba ntunda Corolla Cross. So specialization, you guys, yesterday I suffered with my ABS light in my field at 2008. My behind speed sensor had gotten issues. Waita Mazi, did you go through water? You're getting a pot baby. I'm telling you, get up, sit up. Bamazene bajikola Bill Gadgets. Kati no muri enze moroke yangu kumanya nganda. ABS sensor chiri chimu nti webuchankana the speed meter doesn't work. Wachitegeera. But then the thing with automatics is that when the speed sensor doesn't work, the speed meter doesn't work, the gears don't change as well as they should. Nenze moroke yangu ya manual. So the speed meter niwe bete kola nsigala ntambula. Moroka ya manual banange. Dr. Jonathan, I think he can separate himself from the business by hiring other people in the same area of specialization. So what is his point of specializing? And that would mean he has to be a man with a diverse mindset that includes managing people and running business. Now Dr. Jonathan, you're talking about managing people. I think he can specialize at medicine and get someone that is a specialist at managing, at business management. Why? This guy is already making a lot of money. Orugai akole chitolinye milioni nga billion lunaku. Buli lunaku. Every day that he opens, he makes at least 2 million. For the guys that have used one day, you see Frieka Pharmacy. Above Frieka Pharmacy, there is that skin clinic up there. There is no time that I've seen that place open ngati wali line waweru. Ate bwebeda nga line waweru waliwo ne munda waba wati. So he makes a minimum of 2 million every day. So a business that makes a minimum of 2 million every day, you're supposed to have a professional manager, an accountant, a receptionist, and other doctors. Because the moment he gets other doctors, you realize that the number of patients will increase. In this day and age, you can not be the best in a field. There will always be someone with experience and books than you. Anyway, I'm talking about my field. Dr. Jonathan, you can be the best, I'm telling you, in your field in medicine. Anyways, then I can have your house. So I'm thinking, Dr. Jonathan, becoming the best comes with experience. Katikambu wainzo bakubida. There's a time I was at campus, I had a lot of pimples. And then I had some skin things. So I went to this guy, Dr. Kambu, and I paid my 50K. When I reached there, the skin young, that you know he's very old. He looked at the skin like this, and he opened the book, and he said, "Read here." You know his treatment is very open. The book was probably published in 1986. They said, "Read here," and the time I'm talking about is a very long time ago. He said, "Read here." I read, and the condition that he showed me doesn't get cured. Okay, he told me, there is medicine I can give you, but it will change your DNA. You get, but you don't need medicine. Those things, if they want to go, they will go on their own. And that's the medicine he gave me. Right? Dr. Jonathan is saying that 2 million is little, you guy. He must be making about 5 million per day. But Dr. Jonathan, that's because he specializes, and he actually specializes in cosmetics and beauty, without actually specializing in cosmetics and beauty. So because of specialization, he probably makes 5 million, like you're saying, Dr. Jonathan, because category field ya mojirimu omanya. They looked it from the bonnet to use on the other tire, but it took me the whole day. Now lidenge motoka intami. Category Bill Gadgets tonaba. One time I'll tell you a story inzo kutamie motoka. But you know, sometimes you see, kamba muting him katono nyo. Okay, mwe guy, sorry. Tubadde mu family discussions wano meeting. Kati Bill Gadgets, one time I'm going to do a ngenda ku shooting a video and that one I'll put it there immediately. And I'm going to tell you a story that will tell you Bill Gadgets lwache muroka yote ina kutama. You see this car, for us men especially, think about your car like your body, okay? Because every time you emoroka buli kutama and you decide to sell it very fast, you lose a lot of money. And I've told this to like 4 of my followers, okay? Don't sell your car because it has problems. Imagine like you have issues with your body, your health. Would you sell your body? Exactly, you won't. Now, a car, as long as it continues to move, you should not hurry to get to say a motor kentan. And the reason why some of these things disturb us, because those guys are not specialized. You see, these are the things that have prompted me to do this video. When you specialize and you solve people's problems as a specialist, you see what the example I've told you, that I went to his clinic and he showed me a book, that thing on your skin will not go away. DNA. He told me some tabs in Gaza, and I have a friend of mine who went and took those tabs. Yeah, his skin has been good ever since then, very good. Like his skin is spotless, but he took those tabs as emitwale ensanvu. But me, when I had changing DNA, I said nga chenyo nenga kabene skin yange because I still get laid. I tell you that years down the road I even have children with that skin that looked like that. So so Kambugu specialized gutubade twogera ko yakole million ng'ettaano Dr. Jonathan Gwagambi. But I'll tell you that story one time. Arthur, in the medical field, specialization is the only way now. I was general doctor for 8 years, but the space is now way too saturated with every small university having a medical school. Exactly. And it's not just in medical. Mulaba, I decided to venture into TV production. And I realized that everyone is doing the same thing in TV production. Everyone is doing the same thing. So when you finally see my TV show, when again after my TV show has shown like 2 episodes, I'll tell you how I specialized in TV production. Because when you look at the show like this, you may not know where the specialization comes in. But I decided that it's something that I've been trying to do since like 2012 when I graduated from MOOC. But I hadn't, the local market here, it hadn't really bought into my idea until DSTV bought it. So I'll tell you the story of how I specialized in TV. Now, when you go to even like the stage production, I also specialized. And specialization, it cuts across. Never kuba kanika motoka. Like for the guys that are here that are engineers, if you're here and you are a builder, specialize. If you don't specialize, you're going to keep gambling. I hope you're doing well. We are good, Joshua. Dr. Jonathan is saying ABS Tama speedometer stops working and mileage counter dies, so you don't know when to service, and mechanics don't understand these things. Exactly, Dr. Jonathan. Our mechanics are not specialists. They are not. There is only one specialist garage wiring. Only guy. Let me tell you one thing. Something happened with my car when I changed my engine. Of course, I'm going to give you the story in detail. You guys, nateka engine empya mu moroka yange. Emotoka nga terina maanyi. Nga ntaddemu engine empya. Ngaba ngamba it's wiring. Get an engine check. The engine check light still comes on, but the car is okay now. So the engine check light ega chiba chimiro, abamanye chimiro, the throttle body. That I'll change later. But the car still moves, functions properly. But I realized that even my mechanic had no idea what was going on. I went to 2 other mechanics. They had no idea what was going on. These guys are gamblers. It's just that they know some specific things that normally disturb us. Simanya brexi, simanya matara, right? They know some. Whenever a mechanic stumbles upon something, that becomes something they know. The thing is, they don't go ahead to explore and become specialists. So I'll give you a full story. So I go to Jeff's garage because they kept telling me wiring. So we go and Jeff checks this car like 3 times. And it was not expensive at all. He's a specialist. He's a wiring. He's a Chambogo graduate. That's why I was telling you guys, if you have a brother or sister that wants to do engineering, Chambogo is the place for you to take them. So Jeff told me this is not a wiring issue. And I remember he told me the same thing with the Primo. So when Jeff told me this is not a wiring problem 3 times, I knew it wasn't a wiring problem. So he has like a guy in his garage, also I think a Chambogo graduate. The guy tells me na ekintu ekiri ku moroka eno kiri mu engine mulimu ekikyuka. Engineer yabadde mu motoka, okay? Yemu neeno. Ne mulimu ekikyuka. And I said, you know what? The person that told me this engine told me if it refuses, I take it back. So don't touch it. So they don't touch it. So this person that told me the engine told me, you bring the car to me. If I fail to make it work, I'll give you a new engine. So I took the car to that person. And they fixed it. Bye Ragnar. Be good. Eat your snack. Okay? So I leave the car with them that entire day. That day I drove which car? I had the car I was driving that day. So after, in the evening, I go back and the car is okay. I take it to the hills that it was struggling to climb. And it was, you don't want to give me? Really? That might be a mistake. And you see when I keep saying things like this normally, it might be a mistake. I'm saying it again the last time, it might be a mistake. So, and the car was okay. Now, it reaches time and they start telling me to pay the mechanics. So I asked them, what have you fixed? Because I had already been to Jeff's garage and he told me the issue is there is something that changes with these engines, the computer, okay? The computer in my car and the engine that I've bought, the engine had a different computer. So I need to change something at the top of the engine. They remove the top cover and change that thing. So the mechanic at Jeff's garage had already told me that. So I knew when they could not, because these guys kept telling me wiring, and I told them, what have you done with wiring? I want to know what you have done. If you don't tell me what you have done with my wiring, I'm not paying a single shilling, because I knew now the issue is with the engine. I want them to tell me exactly, and they were not telling me. So I did not pay a single shilling. And because they were removing the top cover, then they make water pump tujigule nembaga mujiteke mu usage sasura. So because I'm very big-headed now, because I've realized that majority of the problems we have as Ugandans are because we don't specialize. Everybody gambles. And when things don't work out, you, the client or the customer, ends up paying all the faults. So I told them, unless you tell me what exactly you have fixed, you list for me the things that you have bought and the things you have done, I'm not paying. They did not come back to me. So the lady that sold me the engine ended up paying them, because all they did was change that thing that I will tell you later about. I'm still studying it, because everyone that changes engines, you may be having that issue. You may actually have that same issue. Automatics, it's easier with automatics. That thing can survive in automatics for a very long time. But with manual cars, because you have to balance the clutch, you can notice the problem very easily. But with automatics, because you just press the accelerator, that issue will be there. But as long as you press the accelerator hard enough, you won't have an issue. But with manuals, it's very easy. Actually, a manual car can tell you the faults of a car much easier than an automatic. The thing with automatics is as long as the gears change, you're good. So they just changed that one thing. But what am I talking about? My mechanic made me change things and things and things in my car. But you know why he was making me? Because he was gambling. There's a time I looked at him, this idiot. And there's a time he reached Nagamo Mani Atha. I was thinking, you're the mechanic, you're supposed to know. And you know, the things with fixing a car, it's not like you guys in medicine, it mutates. Echifuba cha last year chinzo kujja this year nga sichi echifuba cha last year nga it's much serious. So kitegeera ebintu bye motoka ebirwadde bye motoka they are standard. the propeller moves, over the crankshaft moves. It moves the pistons. The pistons go up and down. Now, if the piston doesn't go up and down, it acts like this. Those are things we are supposed to know, and that's something that Jeff figured out, the wiring guy. Jeff okumanyanga yasoma amanya kino ekintu kinakola bwekiti nebwekiti 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 bwekitakola bwekiti na bwekiti kitegeeza ekirwadde kiba wano. He tells you. I remember with my primo, the other mechanic, when nagoba omanyize ngoba nze kasita kulaba ng'ogambolinga. The other mechanic, still he was telling me it's wiring. I went to Jeff's garage. Jeff told me this is not a wiring issue. Jeff, and you know Jeff abamanye is a very busy guy. Alimuno okwematira watulira mu motoka yo oyino kubanga you convincing. At that time I was nobody. Now this is not for the love of cars. Right now when you end up in a place, normally they recognize me, especially when it's related to cars. Now they give me special attention sometimes. So nangamba sicha wiring until I got another mechanic nebasumula engineer nebasaga engine block erimu crack. Now a mechanic akoze mu motoka more than 5 years, I would actually expect that they would know that when the engine block has a problem, it does this. Because they would actually know kuba ne engineer omwana yali agisumuluddeko. You would actually know when sumula engine I have to anyway eyo tuveyo. You see how specialization helps? For me, so when wa Jeff, because I know Jeff is a specialist. Bwangambo bulwadde sibwa wiring, mmanye sibwa achi, sibwa wiring. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. 2 million per day is it. I have friends like ophthalmologists and orthopedics who are employed by hospitals by make this pharma. Sometimes even close to 80 million. Procedures are expensive. But you see, Daniel, this guy talked about the operations. This guy opens the book and he tells you to know chekuruma na kuandikira daga talituna na ditunda. By the way, he tells you go to a pharmacy and buy. Yet ano jeji baje mu mazaba ko ze sent and pititive. Ochitegeda. Dr. Jonathan, specialization in different forms. Example, specialization by business, by labor, by department, by country, etc. Definitely. In every area where you're working, you can actually specialize and make money. In every area that you're working. You see, when Safe Border had just come, it was a specialist border business. And trust me, if they had just gone that way for a couple of more years, what I think the mistake they made was they got greedy and they increased their commission. You can't tell me you're taking over 25%. 25% is too much. The only thing you give someone is a platform. And I didn't even know that these guys buy the helmet, they buy the reflector jackets. A guy comes to you, pays for training, buys almost everything that you give them, gives you commission. Atene commission no yagalo twale munji. Ochitegera. Safe Border had over 20,000 borders. Do you know what it means to have 20,000 people? Those 20,000 people nagami nebo wakola ke 15. Those are 5 trips. 5 trips a day for each border. All these Safe Border guys had to do. I think they diversified very quickly. They diversified too soon. All they had to do was keep the commissions constant, but advertise Safe Border, and all they did not have to diversify with the product. They had to diversify in areas. Barivu de company bagende guru, nibave guru, nebagende embarara, nibave mbara, nibade masaka. All they had to do was that. But they did not diversify in that area. They instead decided to bring new products which they could not manage. For example, Safe Border. If you give me safe money, you cannot compete with MTN mobile money. And right now, me as Arthur, I don't even use mobile money. Do you know what I use? I use my Equity Bank account. I can send with 500 shillings, I can even send 50 million. So all I have to do is make sure that the people I deal with have Equity Bank accounts. Set a mobile money. Atena abo sente za bazifuna nazirabirawo reflecting. Atena yo kuzijjayo, it's cheaper for him to withdraw the 50 million than via the bank than it is via mobile money. So I find that specialization, even for Safe Border, it would have worked for them. Even say for Uber. Uber also got greedy. 25% in Uganda is too high. Go global but stay local. bali badde bategeera nti Uganda the cost of maintenance of a car is higher than it is in the US. Ne batasaba baana 25%, bali badde basabanga 15%, because 15% would have been okay ng'omwana bw'akola omutwalo akuwaako 1,500, naye omwana bw'akola omutwalo akuweeko 2,500 ng'avuza amafuta ali ennusu kasanvu 500 ajjeko amafuta ga 5 asigaze ennusu 2,500 ng'alina okukanika emmotoka, alina okulya, alina okuwoza. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot. Bali badde batwala nusu 1,500, bali badde batwala na 10,000. For wano Uganda tukimanyi commission is 10% generally. Era omuntu bali more than 10% aba mubbi. But omuntu buli watandika okwagala okubba ng'omanya kati the approach to specialization etandise okukola ki, etandise omukuba gye. So since we are talking about specialization, I find that it's important when you look at every area of your life where you have suffered yet you paid for a service. You suffered because those people are not specialists. They are gambling. Buli kimu ayagala akikwateko. Okitegeera. Good morning, Dennis VM. When I got ABS issues, I spent about 900K later found it was my ABS module that was dead. After buying a lot of use. Yochira Dr. Jonathan, these mechanics, they gamble a lot. Ngekintu kiri kimu kye yalikoze. Gende chambo kukoleo ka short course. Wagende makereo koleo ka short course ka mechanical engineering. Okitegeera ka short course bwebaje buli I don't know if they exist. Okitegeera. Gende okoleo ka course so that you oberengo omanyi byokola. I'm actually going to be forced in the mara CIM yange. Ngende mbikole. Because these guys gamble a lot. Osanga makanika nga tasobola nakugamba nti piston tasobola nakugamba basic measurement nti piston bojijire erinya centimeters was it. I don't know if that exists. But I'm imagining nze okumanyanga, me I'm wondering why people are not efficient at their jobs. Let me tell you, mu performing arts nze bwe nkugamba nti ngenda kukola ekintu kino nze nga Arthur kembere mu marketing, if I can't do something I will not do it. I tell you, go to this person, he will do this job. The moment I tell you I can do something, I'm good. Nze sina kintu kyenkolanga, I'm not good. That's why I tell you nze siyinza kujja kebera moroka nga sizina makanika. Mbanyi kyalina okukebera naye nyinza okuba simanyi bwalina kikebera. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So I come with a mechanic ne mugamba kebera kino na kino na kino na kino na kino kiri kitya. Ontegera kyenkugamba. So he will give me a deeper analysis to tell me nti kino, for example, guno omusumali guli bwe guti kukiraga gwanaaba. Bush ene efaanana bweti erina okuba replaced. Okitegeera. I know what needs to be checked, but I know I may not be as efficient as him in checking that. Half of the things, actually 80% of the things that we suffer with in Uganda when you have paid for a service is because of incompetent people. Check all the border accidents that happen on Ugandan roads. 90% of the border accidents that happen in Uganda are because the border guy doesn't know what he's doing. Ngabyavuga tabimanyi. That's why we get those border accidents. 90% of the cars that crash on the road are because those people don't have the experience to drive the way they were driving. There's a picture I saw of a Corsa that rammed into the side guards. Emotoka ne yefunyiza ddala ng'omuntu mwali muli bimukubye afudde. Like that old model Corsa, why would you be going fast? Nga ne mukololo yange sidduka kusukka 8. Ate 8 kingi bannange kukubulya ettaka. Kukubulya ettaka oboina maximum 40. Okitegeera. Half of the accidents we have are because of inexperienced people trying to do things that should be done by experienced people. I don't know if I make sense. Okitegeera. The performing arts, for example, because I will tell you that in the performing arts, I've been consulted by theater owners, venue owners, and I gave them strategies they were supposed to follow for free to market their venues. They go the other side. Do you know why most of the plays we have in Uganda, they feature bands, they feature musicians? It's because they don't want to invest in actually doing a real musical, a real musical. For the guys that have watched Hamilton, where it's a play, but it's actually the actors that are singing it and dancing. It's much more entertaining than when you do a play and bring Misach to sing his songs. And that's what they are doing. I think John Segal attempted it. naye naye teyayinvestinga bulungi, so kyali kibulamu. Alex mukulu has attempted naye kibulamu, okitegeera. Now kati bwe njogeramu ebyo ebintu njogera nga professional amanyi kiki balina okukola, okitegeera. I think even Philip Luswat has tried naye nga naye kibulamu, the investment yekyabulamu. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So as a specialist olina okubanga when you start talking about your field nga teri muntu asobola kuva inagana yo guy byayogera tabimanye, okitegeera. Kati you can imagine someone spending 900,000 nga yali badde akwata emitwalo 5 nagula ABS module nagisaawo, okitegeera. Kati nze when I had that issue with the new engine nagula simanye ebintu byempewo ne banguza clutch ne pressure. I changed the clutch like 4 times. Kabagamba ane yo clutch teina man. But nange ba we have idiotic mechanics in Uganda. Oh manyabo. There is actually a mechanic that told me nti chusa gear. Nze kasita ngamba tugenda kuchusa gearbox. Emoroka ya manyo tefa gearbox ya manyo tefa wetu tebuza manyi. Because you can emoroka gearbox ya manyo, the way it dies, you put a gear and it pushes itself out. That's how a manual gearbox dies. But then this guy was telling me, natandika nokuba abantu abalina gearbox abantu na gearbox ewakiseka twagala gearbox ya manual. Like I was bewildered. And I was thinking, my God, you can actually do this. And again, it's me who is going to be spending that money. Okitegeera. So it's important that we specialize. And by the way, abantu benyogera ko nze bamakanika bange bonna bala live broadcast zange, okitegeera. But ebintu ebimu bimugamba ngo bimugamba because nze sisiri kankugamba nze nyina ne bajjajja bange bengambi amazima ne mugana ekyo kyokoze tekijja, ekyo kyokoze kibi kinyiza ne mala sikyakwatagana nawe lwakuba wakola kino, okitegeera. Because me I don't see a point in trying to hide something that other people will see. Nze kankigambe wo yagala okukyusa okyuse watu yagala kukyusa gwamanyi olifafagane mistakes zo. Now imagine Dr. Jonathan was spending emitwalo 9 bwamala module wajigula sente mmeka, okitegeera. Ate kirawo sabu sensa bwe bajjako tebabukuwa babubba. Era kyo bula bambagamba when you go to a garage ne bagamba kino kirwadde kijje mu kiteke mu buutu. Buli kyagamba kirwadde ngo mngateeka mu buutu. For you guys abazimba dama kagamu zimba yo kastowa ka spare we motoka. I'm telling you kat space zange ze motoka bali bagala okuzitwala ne mbaga muziteke mu buutu. Kati ngenda zizzamu emotoka njiwanike ifukera ndi Corolla, okitegeera. Era ngenda bavuga RAV Corolla tegenda ba RAV4 era RAV Corolla nga bwe njitula mwento olengera omwana avuga SUV mu Corolla n'ogamba kino owaka undo yine musiseeko nzo manyinzi la tugule motoka ze tusobola tefudde eyesise mafuta wane kantekemu eyesise mafuta. So specialization bali tovuga motoka ya sisi 12 nanga toina income ya 12 okitegeera kyembagamba banange bagayi bange. Don't buy a car of 2,400cc when your income is not 2,400cc. I'm thinking I'm trying to make sense. Yes, I agree with you, Dr. Jonathan. Many people start up businesses and stay in startup stage, not thinking of the growth and expansion. If your target is general business, specialization, not a deal. Sikutegede. Some car washers wash off number plates by scrubbing, so the owners should be careful. Bakuuta nnyo bakutisa ebikutiya bino. Even working in German cars on a specialization. Yes, German cars is specialization. Like my friend Kasim is a specialized Benz mechanic. Takanika Golf, akanika Benz is a car, and he has been doing it since like he was 15. When we were in senior 4, actually starting senior 2, that was like when he was 12 years. In the holidays, he would be in his father's garage, and his father was a specialized Benz mechanic. I have a friend who works on only VW and Audi. He actually has a lot of customers. Exactly. When you specialize, you can even charge premium price because byokolo bimanyi. Me, I'm a specialist director and producer. Because in Uganda you cannot be a director, not a producer. Otherwise, who will produce your work? People don't invest. So I'm actually a specialized producer, but sometimes because the directors don't take the time to study my products, I end up directing with them. So when you see my show that is coming on Pearl Magic soon, you realize that there are two directors there. The director that I gave to direct, and then actually me ending up directing the work. But I still gave him his credit. So when you specialize, you can charge premium, you can decide to not do some things. It's called adjudication is amasomero. Judging simanyambu abana bazokuzina mbu nze sibikole ebyo because you can't afford me to adjudicate. Sikola training za amasomero. My company does, but personally I don't. Because you cannot pay me and my skill. You cannot pay me my skills worth. Ochitegera. Nze kati ntende kaba professional who have to pay a top dollar. Like at Plato's Institute, I can teach actors there. But I'm not going to come and train high school students how to act in a play. You get? Eh? Good morning, Timmy. Specialization is required for service delivery person. I think everyone, mechanics and brokers, but Tammy Motoka. Thank God to Afna for the love of cars. At least now we can make best decisions before buying a car. Sina chocho kanemu kanika. Nemu kanika. But mechanics gambo. Mechanics gambo. There is a friend of mine, a follower of mine. Yande to the motoka anjikebeli. Now, oyo muntu ewawe bagagga bayina sente. So they had cars nga bazikanikira mu spare motors. Temula abantu spare motors seems a specialized garage. Yagamba bajjayo motoka nga spare motors eyitiridde okwonoona. Bamakanika bo mu spare motors sijja gamba spare motors as a brand. Bamakanika bo spare motors nga bayitiridde okwonoona. Okitegeera. So they decided that okay, kati artist and when they came to the mechanics this side abali ebweru, they started in Kwatemuchi. So when they changed and started using these normal chakala garages, because nabe moroka ya bwe bali bajimanyi, ne batandika okukola ki, ne batandika moroka ya actually to have ne tandika okuba wa peace. Naye nga bo bagamba bamakanika box pia motors abamu bagamba olinga ate bw'otwala ye mmotoka obwana bwe bajiwa obutamanyi ne butandika okwonoona. Okitegeera. Specialization in car garages or mechanics is a bit tricky because most of them learn on the job, which is why they gamble. But and I'm going to tell you this: 90% of our mechanics are gamblers. They are gamblers. It's just that mechanica, is a brand of car. Natuka nga ajimanyi. Nga nebirwadde ebisinga abimanyi. At the moment they get something that is unique, kati nga boda bechali ku moroka yange. Nti akantu mu engine kakyukamu katono nga teina buzibu naye nga kakyuseemu katono nga koyina okukyusa otereeze oba oteekemu akalala. Okitegeera. And this is something that mechanics should know. Nga even when you're buying an engine, they begin based on that. Nti at least nyina okukyusa kino ekintu. Okitegeera. Safe Border had done international diversification. I saw them in Nigeria and Kenya. Anti-cat Chris Fitness, what happens is when you diversify too soon, they had to first of all do like a prototype study here. In innovation, they had to do they had to first of all cover the entire Uganda. Nebwe bali badenge eggulu balinayo boda satu. Okitegeera nge Masaka balinayo boda 1,000. Nge Mbara balinayo boda 2. Nge Kabale balinayo boda 2. Okitegeere nga balinayo officer omu IT guy omu nga yabeerayo nga yakwasaganya the enrollment bichi. It would have been better than them trying to simanya kubalese safe car bamaze okuleta safe car safe money simanya balese. Okitegeere they would have diversified properly. But I obate baina ba marketing person, because these are decisions that marketing people should be able to help you with. Okitegeera. That's why you guys, I tell you, mumpe emirimu muleke kola business za mwezi sigala wogo ina capital nga mungi naye business teva mu kifo. Okitegeera. So Safe Border needed to diversify nationally first of all, And then they see the model that worked in Kampala working in other districts of Uganda as well. And then their income would definitely go up. And then people had started shifting from the normal borders to safe borders. Safe border. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Why? Because with the safe border, my whereabouts are known. I don't have to bargain. And all those things. There were so many advantages with safe border. But right now, guys got out of safe border. Even 5,000 border riders. Even you see that guy is putting on safe border thingies. Now yeah, the helmet is safe border, the reflector is not safe border. Yabiva mudda. Oshtegera. Kati abapia, like that one is over number what? Even the guys that are still in safe border actually. The bomwereza app, bomwereza request on the app, they come and bargain. Oshtegera. They come and bargain with you. And then they take you off app. So that's a very bad, but that's because safe border got greedy. So safe border, ekisoka kyali inokola is diversified nationally berenga buli district gyeri. Then it would have made more money by actually having adverts on their reflectors than trying to make more commission off these guys. All they had to do was say, kakati, how can we make this money? Nebasoka bali basigala mu border moka for like 10 years. Nebatukanga nga buli muntu. Actually they would have even gone to police level. Nebagenda to parliament and influence parliamentarians to pass like a directive for all border guys to be registered with safe border. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Nti buli border mu Kampala genda mu safe border. Government nebajiwa ku musoro nga guwerako. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. In a way of regulating, I don't know if everybody saw it this way. Anyway, eyo tuveyo. I don't want to be a specialist of safe border. N'abagikola bennyini yabalema. William, repair is another issue. The mechanics make you buy spares so expensively. And kakati, what happens is your mechanic will make sure they only buy spares from their shops. And even these shops now know when you go there and you're not a mechanic, they sell to you at the same price they sell to a mechanic when they have even given him Njawulo, which is a very bad thing, which is something that we will fix by, hey, we will fix it. We will fix it. One thing I've seen, you see, I told you the story of a traffic officer that tried to get money out of me by telling me my number plate is fake. That guy is no longer at that point. I think the OC changed him. Either he's on desk duty or baba amwa transfer. Even I think the big mistake that these traffic guys do is very chariba when they banga tunula. But I think that video went too far. You guys don't know. Digital is going to transform this country one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Nze me, I'm going to go and source for you shops that will give you things at good prices. Ebitali kokuba. Nzenga Arthur. For those guys that don't know, I already have a website for the love of cars. It's called Buy a Car Kampala Uganda. There I'm going to transform that website into so many other things. We are going to fix these things one by one. First of all, bamakanika abagambolinga. Zisiyagala muntu agambolingira ku motoka. Makanika asobola okutamya emmotoka. You can get tired of your car, but when your car has no problem, when it's the mechanic the mechanic is gambling, and you know they will never accept that. Okay, I don't know this. Let me go find another mechanic. Or let me find a specialist mechanic. You can imagine the issue that was disturbing my car for weeks. It was fixed in one day by someone that knew the actual issue. But these guys, ekisoka bobe nyini ndo zatebeyagaliza na kweyagaliza. Oshitegera. Doza ulira abantu webana amanya nti oli guy amanyo kufixinga akantu ako. Bajja kudduka bamuveko bagende ewoli guy. But if you specialize in wiring, when I need engine work, I go to another person. When I need suspension, I go to another person. Oshitegera. Morning Access News. These mechanics are even just lazy. Because some of this info is on the internet, being a mechanic is not taken serious. These people trying to find themselves transitioning, no, I think they just don't take their work seriously. Because personally, in Zenga Arthur, I research, I go back and do courses in my own area. So what would be so hard with a mechanic doing the same thing? Why don't you go and join the chamber, go on adult entry? Also me, or you get the theory, or you make chakara mechanic. The same thing actually happens with builders. Boxes about a hidden roof. We have suffered. Builders are gambling with those houses, my dear. Builders, they are gambling to the extent that they don't know the other dangers. I'm going to do a video on hidden roof houses. This is a very nice design. You know, I'm looking for paint designs now. Builders are gambling with houses. There is a person I found, a guy, they have mwamba roofing. How does mwamba kutonya? Seriously, why would mwamba kutonya? Like mwamba is like the basic kusereka. Buli omuja ayingirako. Ochitegera. And then there's a friend of mine from here, when Nayambako from Moroka, is an engineer. He told me that building is supposed to be a mathematics game. Like you calculate the slope, then you calculate and you know when on take out but our builders have no idea. The builder will think that the way I did Arthur's house is the way I'm supposed to do Ranga's house, is the way I'm supposed to do Jonathan's house. Linda ko service yangetenda gwako kweli. Tennawe bulako kilomita ngazi hizo. I'll do the service I think tomorrow. So the gambling, whenever you don't specialize, you should specialize your gamble. And whenever you don't specialize, it means you're not a person of reference in your field. That's the other thing. You'll never be a person of reference. The thing with specialization in certain fields is that you will not make money very fast. Especially in your early years of specialization, you will not make money very fast. But as you grow older, as a specialist, you continue, you make more money as you grow older, because now everyone starts knowing that if you want to this to be handled, the specialist is so and so. If you want this to be handled, like there are guys that have called me Mwabafga SUVs, especially when your boots, when your doors are not closing, there is a specialist guy when manyakora nzigiza motoka zoka only doors. Taina chidara chakoro kujjako kufuru n'enzigi. Okitegeera, he's a specialist there. Takola chidara tagolola motoka takanika engine tako nzigi. His garage only works on doors. Either you'll find lots of Chigeges, lots of RAV4s, lots of Land Cruisers. Now the only thing they have come to fix is doors. Probably a door is making noise. That's his specialization. In the early years, it's of course it's painful, but as you grow and people start knowing that this is a specialist, this person, then they will actually come to you for business. But we are suffering, you guys, because of people that are not specializing. Now, why I did this broadcast is I want you guys from the love of cars. We can change the game. It doesn't matter which field you're in. Specialize. Now, personally, buli kyenkora sigambolinga sidda gye sirina kukola. That's why people have said, Arthur, lwaki tugulirawo ka board ne tujja ne tugula emmotoka. I'm not a car seller. I'm not actually, the only car that I think I've sold is the car that belonged to my follower. That guy that went to the US. That's the only car I've sold. Mpozi no kutunda ezange nja baguza naye no mugireke musoke mu Jesu nyuma. Ezange nja baguzanga. But I'm not a car seller, I'm not a broker. That's why I emphasize it. Era omuntu bwankubiranga ango jantwalamu yabwa broker. Simukolera sikola inspection. Okitegeera. It's painful for me to let go of the 400,000, but I don't want for someone to refer to me as a broker. at any time, because they will come to me expecting me to do broker work when I don't do broker work. I'm offering a pre-purchase inspection service. That's where I do. So I don't want you to come to me like there's someone that was texting me yesterday. She wants IST or RAV4 at 15 million, and I was honest. I told her, you know what? I just say gamba 12. You can't get those cars at 12 million. And then she referred to a video that I did in I think October 2022, and I told her prices changed starting December 2022. The cars are expensive now, so you would need at least 17 million to get a good one, because you don't want to get a car, because like the person that bought the RAV4 yesterday, he called me when he was in of course he was interested in the RAV4 before, but then because the RAV4 was 23 and he had 20 million, so he called me when he was in Bakuli. He was looking at an IST. The IST was a USZ. It had a bad engine. It had accident history. And it was USZ, and they were selling it to him at 20 million. He had offered them 18. And trust me, it was the new model, but it was a USZ with a bad engine. So the engine alone is going to cost him like 2 million. So that would be 22 million. And also USZ, 2 years from now, let's imagine you drive that IST for 2 years, you'll not be able to cope even 15 million because it's a USZ. Now people have UBK, UBP. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So he ended up taking the RAV4 because the RAV4 retains its value over time. Actually, the RAV4s, RAV4s are one piece of equipment that will retain its value in all the SUVs that you'll find. You can't even the Kawundos don't retain as much value as the RAV4. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So that's why I told him, like, okay, if 23 million is what you don't have in cash now, why don't you give this person the 20 million and let him demand the 3 million? What's that? You let him demand the 3 million. Let him give you the time that you, and then that's how we ended up taking the RAV4, because I knew the RAV4, I knew the history of that RAV4. Learning to fix cars in school is not bad, but proceeding on our own after school is a hobby. To go an extra mile is the best. Exactly. Katigwe ala ni rachi tokola garage. Wago ina theory or ina practical. Wachitageira. We have a lot of gamblers in the market, Alan, I'm telling you. Until they meet something that they can't even go to the internet to read. They can't even read the manuals that come with these engines that they import. Because if you could read the manual of the engine that is imported and also read the manual of the engine that was in the car, or find some sort of manual, you'd actually know what different kind of engines in that code are there. Because my engine is the 1NZ, the one I have now. The one that was in my car was the 1NZ. But they have a difference. And that difference cannot only be found if you find out, if you read. Talk about crashes. Did you see the Range Rover guy on Twitter that rammed into a room and later crashed on the wall? That one I haven't seen. I've only seen the Kosa guy that crashed into the side guards of Entebbe Road. Those Kosas should actually be taken off the road. First of all, those Kosas, now even the mechanics that know them are very few. Tukule kumotoka empyanga zinamukadde. Olaba ne namukadde yange nkadde kati njivuga because I know it's a vintage. I want it to be a vintage. I did not see the Range Rover guy. I'm going to look for it on Twitter. I saw the Kosa Arthur. The guy died on spot with his wife, and police said he was overspeeding. I wonder how you can overspeed a Kosa on the other. Why would you overspeed in a Kosa? You see, the thing that I've seen with the guys, the moment na bwakora akamotoka ke nakasako sport rim nakakora interior ngakalimu music nage nakora suspension ne usitegera ne gumira ne bagati kyakubagana, he thinks he has a machine. Zile motoka zaffe, actually even a Mercedes Benz, even if it had been a Mercedes Benz that rammed on that thing, you would have died. That was a high speed. Ainzo bayadde mu speed nga 14. Ate kuba yabade mu speed. Why would you go 140 in Uganda? Which road in Uganda actually qualifies to be driven 140 on? On Uganda roads, we should be going maximum 80. Which again, you can go 100 like on express, because the expressway is a wide road. But don't go beyond 100. And for you guys to understand that even Mercedes-Benz is not safe, you remember the owner of Galaxy FM, Yarimu Mercedes-Benz. Yafa Garimu Mercedes-Benz. I think it was on the northern bypass over express. You can Google that. Galaxy FM owner dies in accident. You Google that and see the car he was. It was a Mercedes-Benz. So even the Mercedes-Benz that we think are not as safe, they are not. Probably the Volvos would be safer, because at least I've not seen anybody die in a crash in a Volvo. Well, probably because they don't even crash them, because they rarely drive them. That's another thing. Please comment on Suzuki Swift. Suzuki Swift is a good car. Maintenance will be a little high because maintenance will be a little high because the spares are not so available, and also because the Suzuki, because now I think it's Toyota that brings in Suzuki, right? But see, they don't have the spares of the Suzuki you're going to buy. They can't have spares of a 2009 Suzuki, so still you're going to suffer with finding spare parts. The thing with Toyota is that coming over 1992, the spare will be there. It will be a little expensive, but it will be there. Kanzowa 2001 model, I share the same spares with the 2007 Wish. I share the same spares with the 2007 Alex. So that's the thing with Toyota. And probably the thing that happens with Audi and Volkswagens is that they share spares as well. So that would happen. But Suzuki, the Swift, which other car does your car, if you buy it, share the spare with? So that's the thing that you have to think about before you buy a car. Morning, Sanji Phone Solutions. Pilot study, Daniel Ranga, thank you very much. Safeboard would have done a pilot study in Uganda. Never diversifying a Uganda everywhere. They would have had a model that says that if you go to a country, we start from the capital city and we work in the capital city for this number of years, and then we diversify to this number of districts. And they have the resources because Safeboard has investors. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Yes, of feasibility study, definitely. I think they diversified into other countries and into other products very fast. That's why all their products are suffering. Because you can't diversify and bring safe car when the pioneer in the ride share car business is struggling, because Uber was already struggling when Safeboard brought safe car. So the only way you could probably manage is if you have your own cars, and then probably you have modified that model a bit. But anyway, Safeboard at Veyo, they are limping, and if we don't learn from them, our businesses will also limp. I quit school specifically because my instructors Charlie Chiburamu, and the curriculum wasn't realistic either. Which school? Wali Chambogo. I find that graduates of Chambogo know what they are doing. Alan, I don't know if you were in Chambogo, but I find that when Saga graduate here Chambogo Ngayasoma engineering, any sort of engineering, the Chambogo graduates are actually good. Chambogo graduates in engineering, actually they say that Chambogo has good engineering courses. Chambogo has good education courses. Like it's really good. Then Mo can do medicine. I don't know. I don't know if you were in Chambogo, but I find that Chambogo graduates are good. We practice. Never janga taina practical. Bwatane ko kubikola. Ubato naiga kola reversing ngaya Arthur. No parking am reverse. Ngatofulumiza mutwe. Uchaine ebyokuyiga bingi mu motoka. On first attempt and accurately also. Okitegeera. Moroka ya mani. Juli. Uli agia. Uli agia. Uli agia. Anyway, let's learn to specialize more. For you guys that are here on for the love of cars, I think the best thing you could ever do for yourself is specializing. I'm telling you. Of course, in the beginning, yes, it's hectic, but once you start hitting it, because of a specialist, we challenge you join out. One time I will tell you a story that I had with my show that is coming live on Pearl Magic. But because I took my years since 2012, I've been studying this model, and yes, we had challenges. Yes, the show is not exactly what I imagined, but trust me, so and I find that that's because there's that element of specialization. So wherever you are, specialize. At the morning, if I have 15 million, can I deposit on a Valvematic Wish or no? Then I pay balance. There is only one person that can do it. But also bobo sanzo muntu nga Valvematic Wish ajina nga ajivuze for some time ajajiguza. Ayinzo jiguza million nga 25 no mwaka 15. Nekata abajja ajja kuseera mu ayongera million nga 3 ezokubanja. Ibojisa nekati Valvematic enkade nga tezirabika. Which new are you talking about? The new the new model, the 2009 model. Now, if you want a new car, the Wish Valvematic, I would recommend you have about 22-23 million. I take you to a bond where they'll give you that car. You get it? Because I have a number of bonds by those foreigners where I can take you and they give you a car. And you pay 23-25 million and they demand you the balance. No bange moroka gwaji etandikidde omanyi ebintu bye moroka yebanja bwobo sobodde webole moroka empete wewola ate motoka ankadde okitegeera. Politics destroyed safe border, my friend. How did politics destroy safe border? It wasn't politics. I find that safe border was destroyed by their own approach to their people, because now the stakeholders are, the first stakeholder you have is a rider. Rider bwakwata obi customer tadda ku safe border. Rider bwavuga obuyo kitegeera. Good morning JK. What about subscribing laissez-faire instead of lobbying for every ride to register with safe border? What do you mean? Akagambo laissez-faire nkamanyi na isimanyi nze kati kategeeza ki. Lejja. JK, make me understand. Arthur, many of the mechanics, they don't do research on internet. Balemeremu enkola ya analog. True. You know musajja gwamanyi, he's very good at wiring. Na yategeera ziri motoka enkadde primo old model chibina ipsam ezo even if you burnt the car or put the wires out and told him put new wires, he would put new wires and everything would work like it's new. But bring him in on a VVTi car. That's when you will know that why nobody can stop reggae. Many okay. Majority of our service providers, they are not educated, do not make research, and they only want quick money. Definitely that, Chris Fitness. You see, personally, I will tell you that everything I'm doing, I went to school for it. Kati, for the love of cars, that area ndimu marketing. Sidimu kukanika ndimu marketing. Ndimu marketing because I'm marketing my information. I have information in my head and I market that information and I make money out of that information. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. That's why when I come to inspect a car, I know what needs to be inspected, but I need a mechanic to actually inspect it and tell me. That's why sometimes you'll find that why? Because mechanic olibwe mulaba nga atandise okwagala okunkolako emikolo n'abantu bange nga muwummuzamu nga nkozesa ku mulala. Okitegeera, I know what they need to inspect. All I need is for those guys to inspect it the right way. Maybe I don't know. So, but I find that if you want to specialize, the first thing you're going to do is actually go to school for something. If you go to specializing, go and get theoretical training. That's the first thing that I would recommend you do. If you want to be, let's say, a specialist painter, go get some form of training in painting. Never online. Oberenga wotandika okusiiga ennyumba. You know everything. Buli kimu osobola dissecting, waterproofing, simanya because ebiti bichi. So that you can ngabo totandika kwogera kintu ne bakinyoma. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. The first thing in specializing is actually getting theoretical training or formal training. Okitegeera. Get formal training in something. Okitaka kati olaba nga Alan bwe yavaayo already yaina practical knowledge kati nagenda mu theory nalaba naye ate Alan there was probably something you missed eyo mass eyo. Normally I find that tolaba nti ndi mukola simu, I find that bino ebintu betusoma ebisooka bino mbimanyi ate mbimanyi kuba mbadde mbikola okitegeera. But I know that jetulaga era kati nyina lesson ezasookawo nga tukola simu awo, I found that bino tusoma byakyenze nga nyinenga I find so many people in the classroom don't know okitegeera. But then as we advance I realize, oh, now this kino bwekigattira wali okitegeera. So I find that formal training is very important. And so when I was already interested in marketing, I have books and books on marketing. But then I realized that there was something I was missing in marketing. That's when I went back to UMI to do marketing. When I sat in that class, I realized I was doing things the right way, but I had gambled my way there. And now when I came out of school, my God, ngabulichenkola nchimanyi mpita wano nenzira wano. All I had to do was put a bit of common sense okumanya nti kati wano to Uganda kino tosobola kikola exactly bwoti naye the theory actually works. Okitegeera. When I went to study drama at MOOC, nze already nali nkola drama because I started acting animal like senior 1. Then ngenda mbaka yimbira. Then I went abroad and I was already working with professionals. Ngenda okutuka Makerere, even the teacher that I was teaching, and she's really prominent, I was teaching her script writing. Bit somesa nzenga software gwa somesa na muyita mudda mumanyi. Na ye I realize as you advance into aina chamanyi chotakola ki. Chotamanyi probably because yali mu academia, they research more than you. So nga kusomesa theory yo, then read. Naye ofu okujjako byatabu bibasomesa Makerere ngambi manyi okusinga abasomesa mwali mu marketing. Omusomesa yatusomesa marketing ate she's a professor. Naye nga kibulamu oye yatusomesa marketing kyali kibulamu ate nga professor era yakyabisomesa Makerere naye. And when I came out then that's how you upgrade knowledge. I have my museum mechanic here in Jinja. Na ye ambonya wonya banangi, but I'm out of options in Jinja here. Anyone who may be knowing good mechanics within Jinja can help out. But now guy, I want to know if you know a mechanic that is good in Jinja, you help out our friend Bernard here. Princess Akia, hi Arthur, Gwe, tell me you got RAV4 at 4 million only. Was it true? Mwana gwe nangenzi je walai. Techa aliyo. Of course, when we are ajenguza ku 5 recently na nesiraga nyo interest. Kamuroze ko ndabo bamujukira. Era yanguza RAV4 ku million. Of course, it has work to do, like you need to respray the car, you need to put tires. Oshya nainga it's moving. Ngusobola okugivuga. Yasoka jinguza million nyane ngana na ayongera na agikola na jinguza 5 ne ngana wakati agitunda mmeka. Princess Akia, contact me. Chemanyi waloko RAV4, but it's a RAV4 short, it's not the long. Ate gwo mukazi short yakolera. Yasoka najenguze million nyangere etambula. Ngerimu obokola akola nengana. Na abukola na ajongeza 5. Nengana kati kyemanyira yajongedde ogikola. So I'll have to talk to him and see. Mujukidde. So you can contact me netulaba. After collect those specialist contacts, we can always recommend them to each other to onaba. If I'm going to do that, akafute bei nga sibirunyi man. Fuel is going back up. Fuel is going back up. Kate saa weno woba woli nywa full tanker because guys okulinya negagenda mu 5-6. Okitegeera. Erenze buli nako ngamba kesenga nazemule. Era kate buli nako bwemba ngendeka. Nzizaawo ne ntopinga. Nzizaawo ne topinga because zagaragali nyenga nkoze kinga setegese. Okitegeera. Arthur, you once said your followers bagagga. Today nzikiriza. Specialization byaba bede. We are even struggling to diversify. Gambo. If you try to specialize, won't we die of hunger? Chairman Zach, I will tell you, specialization in the beginning is hard. But this is where you need to be strategic. Nze nabagamba, nyina abaana babiri songerako. Why? Because buwoba n'abaana abangi. Bantu bafa basinga bagambolinga because they have responsibility that is beyond what they can handle. So kati yesanga inokola kino na kiri. Okitegeera? Because aina load emu just run nene mabega. Omuntu alina abaana 5 ne bobo yagala specialization ejja kuzibuwala. I'm telling you. Ne bwaba yagala ati ekisooka tajja kuba na sente ziddayo kusoma bintu byagala specializing amu. Because for the guys in medicine, I'm sure you guys go back and master. Nokola master in if you want to be a pediatrician, no dayo nokola master in pediatric medicine. Je ko luzungu nenjogera oluwulira pediatric medicine omchogedde pediatric naye ng'era ndiro kiwulira kikanga mbwe njogera kikanga muko okitegeera. So responsibility gye mwetikka tesobola kubakkiriza ku specializing ebiseera ebisinga. Now we've already responsibility wajetikka tokyalina kyakkola, but for you guys that have not yet gotten that much responsibility to the extent that your responsibility deters you from upgrading your knowledge, this is the time for you to think, where can I specialize and how can I specialize? Because specialization includes you knowing something extra in that area that other people don't. Ninayo kakosi kenjagala okukola kati nkajjukidde kakagatte ku ssimu. Naye mu okusoma ng'oli mukulu nga bimenya batuwa assignment eri wiiki. We went to class this Monday because we study once a week. We went to class this Monday and the lecturer was asking, have you guys attempted on the assignment? That's when I remember that we had an assignment. But of course we ntula wansi kugikola nsobola ogikola in an hour nenjimala. Okitegeera. But of course we have to hand in the entire assignment in November. I still have some time. 2 months. Still have time. Tetugoba ba customer waachiri nkudeya nendyako. Ante ekyokudeya, you know okudeya kuli okay. Osobola okudeya omuntu n'omudeya n'akimanya nti omudeyezza. Ontegeera, let me tell you how you can kudeya. Let me imagine I have a garage nga nkanika mmotoka. Nolete mmotoka yo. Okay? Nolete mmotoka yo nga kyoyagala nkanike sekisobola. Bwenti bwenkudeya. Sikutwala mu garage ya guy. So all I have to do is create partnerships with that garage where that person can come and fix that car in my garage. Osasula nze ne musasula. And my arrangement with that guy is he doesn't tell you where he's located. He doesn't steal my clients. I pay him full amount. Muwa sentences yali charging nze mu garage ye ne mugatirako ne transport ne mugatirako ne inconvenience fee nange nengattamu ezange. Gwe gwazi sasula. And make sure your customer knows that I have a person that can do it, but he will come and do it from here. That's where I can monitor him from. Ontegera kyenkugamba. That way omuntu omudeyeza. Naye akitegedde nti omudeyeza. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, but give him good service. Okitegeera. Bw'aba takkiriza kumudeya agende. So that bwana agende yo ne bamukolerako eyo baba mubbye, you're not involved. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Do you know what it means go recommending omuntu gwa recommending nakubira omusajja go wangambye ngenda nkolere yanzibye? That's very bad. A friend of mine began studying vehicle mechanics so that he could handle his own vehicles. Ngaba mutamye. If you are focused and do enough research, you can do basic repairs yourself. DIY, like changing brake pads, shocks, oil bulbs, light, removing scratches. Definitely. Nanti kati obudde Daniel, me, I hardly have time for me. These days I hardly have time for gym. Timuna banze nanjise fa bagenda mu gym tukuyita kuyika njise. I hardly have time. Actually, even nyina nebyume waka ebiri basic, but I hardly have time to even use them. There's a lot of troubleshooting here. There's a lot of things to do there. Ogenda okwesanga, man, adulting. We no longer Google, we instead binge. Yeah. But there are so many AI tools that can actually give you answers better than even Google. eBay board biwanvu. Biwanvu bitya. Good morning, Antonio. Laissez-faire is where the government doesn't interfere with the workings of the free market. Yeah, actually, JK, it's this. Nkajukidaka kan twakasomangako. Twakasomangako ndo manyiza I concentrate on things that help me. Kati nze ebintu. Byayite binyamba. Kati JK, I think the best approach for them would have been to pass a policy for border. Even the government would have appreciated it. But even laissez-faire was working for them. Pronouncing about laissez-faire was working for them. They only had to not be greedy. They got greedy. Arthur, there is a car brand MG. They have double cabins, but they look nice. It's a UK brand. They have offices on Fort Bay Road. You need to tell us about their cars. I'm going to go there and talk to their marketing people. Those are guys that can give me money, by the way. Yeah, those are guys. There is actually a brand that told me bagenda launching a simanye motor campaign. They want me to do a video on them, and nemba charging a premium. So tebananzi dira nzina bawa invoice nenchita. Tebananzi. There is also someone that wants me to mention him in my videos. I'm considering it is giving me very little money. You know the thing with endorsing something is the moment you endorse it, you either take the video down or you leave it for the rest of your life. So once you endorse something you have not studied, and you endorse something about nebagena nebaba bira you obo wedde oshege, like the person that wants me to endorse them is imports cars kati busenga mu endorsinga ne mugenda na ababba, you get I've endorsed him. That's why I'm very careful with endorsements. Ochitegera athere the wendi issues of Benz nazimaze do yankutemu nchitegera mani bwe bibeera. Yenze nagaba abantu bange babede mavoga je tubuya avuga Benz avuga E-class. Okay, so marketing is your calling. I think you remember in the past, but marketer by all organizations in Nile breweries, man, all the marketers there were performing artists, which they get. So I'm thinking that that's how these two things come and mingle in my life. Which they get. I want to when she immediately went to the so nchigusa. But I find that majority of the time the biggest problem that our people here have is that they don't have the budget for it. MG is owned by Siak Motors, a Chinese state-owned company. Oh, how is the Belter? Good morning. The Belter is a good car. Belter Moro Kanunji, it's just that very common, so the resale will be very low, very, very low. And also the other thing you need to understand is that sharing a spare and a Moro Kanyenji. Normally when you're buying a car, especially those saloon cars, try to buy a car that shares spare parts with the Primo, because the Primo spare parts are very readily available. Or find a car that shares spares with the Wish. So as long as it doesn't share spares with that particular car, the spares might disturb you. Adding on Daniel Ranga, I myself have learned a lot of things from the internet and tried them practically. I'll tell you, Kola. Thank you, Harry Shafter, for reminding them. You guys like the broadcast and share. Only take endorsements you've used or experienced, otherwise I'm very careful. There are people that offer me money ngaweziri ngawe mugamba zireta aleta andete. You guys nzesenga naguda da benzi omuntu wanga anguza benzi badde waawo nga neka nkuwe sente ngisasule a quarter of the money nakiriza senga najigula da. If I had taken endorsements, the endorsements oyina kuba very careful, because you may endorse something that might kill your brand. And once you endorse something, you are telling people that, okay, you go use this person is the best in the field. Mr. Arthur Oliwa Amanyo olaba I'm sick here mudwaliro na ye ngambe let me first come and learn then go for treatment. Ngola binsere ko chichi buno obwamwe waliwo obulwadde buno bwetuyita obwamwe, tubuyita nkumunye, tubuyita kasoli, tubuyita akauka, tubuyita we have an episode where we talk about that disease, and people have names for HIV. People have names for HIV. Na you see HIV, but people have names for HIV. There is an episode in my show where we talk about that disease, and people have names kasoli, nkumunye, but now we had over 20 names in that episode for the disease. The Toyota Volt is a performance car. What car does it share spares with? Otherwise, have you seen Toyota cars where people drive it I'm sure all of you guys have seen cars in the garages. It's a Toyota. Normally, it happens that spare abula. What do we murukanga spare abula? Kanza muruka yangi spare tasobola kubula, because it shares spares with the Primo, it shares spares with the Wish, shares spares with the Alex, shares spares with all the other cars that share spares with the Wish and Primo. Wachitegera the Primo new model. So kati spare wange tasobola kubula. Wachitegera why buno wafe, but fatigue of late people are traveling a lot here in Bahrain. Atenga nga ndigate. Man, fatigue is nzinyina we nalwara muna nga sina kinuma naye nga ndi mulwadde ebyaddala, so it was nebanga magendo omulemu naye atenze sobola kuwumula. sisobola kuwumula. So what I did is I took my time and went to the gym. Next today ebyuma byange. Normally for me that's relaxation. There is a time when nakuba ekyuma nengejja bwenti mukijjukira. That time we bangambira mbu nyina fatigue. Nasitula ebyuma byange nentereera. I don't understand why Axio and Belter are not on Ugandan roads. Moreover, they are popular in other eastern countries. People Uganda just embrace a type of car. I think Axio ne Corolla njawulo ndolo. Ne Corolla zenyi ntezakwata nga bwe nali suubidde. I think they are very nice cars. Hybrid cars, hybrid if you can avoid it. Buy Valvematic car because Valvematic zinywa bulungi almost like hybrid. Nenga ate hybrid bwene fail and ojaddi ulira hybrid jigulengo ojiguze empya bana ikamba sibule. I have a lecture that I'm supposed to facilitate at 9 and it's 8:47. So ngenda basibula. But thank you very much for being part of this broadcast. Don't forget Camp Seo can account. I do pre-purchase inspection. That's how I keep the lights on. If you're going to buy a car, ngatoyagana bakubenze banziba ne bampogoloza. Ochitegeera ne bampogoloza nziba makanika banziba babroka banziba katisagala bakubbe. That's why I do pre-purchase inspection. I come with a mechanic and we make sure that you get a good car that is in good condition and we make sure that you also get a good offer. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So, but I charge a fee for that. Starting January 2024, it's going to be 600,000 per inspection. Not per car, per inspection. Emoroka zonna zonna zetugenda okulaba ng'ogenda okugula in 2 days. My cover is maximum 2 days. Moroka zonna zonna zetugenda okulaba. Okay? Osasule emitwalo egyo nkaaga. Starting January 2024, osasule emitwalo nkaaga. Right now, you're still paying 400,000. If you're going to buy a car between now and December, you pay 400,000. But starting January 1st, 2024, you'll be paying 600,000. So, emoroka zonna zetugenda ku-inspecting and that 400,000 covers. But, nsigala mu Kampala, sifuluma bwe nfuluma Kampala oyo ogula amafuta. Because even in Kampala alone, sometimes we move 80 kilometers, 100 kilometers, nga tunonya motoka emu. Ochitegeera Nalongo Investments, Lubura Chris Fitness, Hashim, Chairman Zach, October, Abi, Mark, Pade, Mavo Gadget Center, Bill Gadgets, Alec Isaac Wandera, Dr. Jonathan Chiwanuka, Deep in Coffee, Lubu, Dr. Ranga, I'm coming to your inbox now. Bill Gadgets, Jombo Juma, Chris Fitness, ndawe kankuogeddeko. Bana tulina abasawo wano mu question Friday totya kubuuza bibuuzo byeri medical. When I want to know professionals banji ate namwe abayira professionals amwe muzogerengako ojja n'ogamba banange nze ndi professional mu kino okitegeera. Waliwo wano omwana bali mu kusoma holiday naye ayina driver amuleetera mu Land Cruiser n'amulinda. People have money. Driver jja n'aparkinga wano omwana n'asoma paka lweggulo. Omwana olumala okusoma driver n'amuvuga n'amuzeeka. Yes, Mugalasi Joshua, Baba Dennis VN, Lucky Mose, Ibanda Bernard, Timmy, William Magezi, Moses Heath, Access News, Alan, Ray Malik, Nsanji Phone Solutions, Trisiobi, Kankobe Kuya William, JK, Tabo Frank, Princess Akia, Sekanja Kranma. Banaiba guy, thank you for being part of this broadcast. Don't forget I do pre-purchase inspection. I sell car trackers. Mweba guy motoka yo asset yo. Kube vamu sentezo. Put a tracker. I sell trackers. The first one is a 350. Italina marobozi. Itowuliza bilimu motoka. The other one is 450 where you call the phone and you hear to listen to what is in the car. Stephen Barunji, Steve Barros. Yes, Samuel Sisi Musomesa. Harry Shafter. Nsedeko Starch. Bobo. Anaitwa Kevin. Amina. Ngato nagenda ton nagenda wish Valvematic and Fielder ntwala eriwa wish jobo twala because it gives you more space. Twala wish they are literally the same car but the wish will give you more space. Planned kids ibana abana ba planned kids Land Cruiser parking wano buli lunaku for holiday studies buli lunaku Land Cruiser jana parking ne mulinda bwamala okusoma na atuula ne mutwala ati omwana ogu kati mutandika okuzaala abana mbusimanya abana mukaga buli mwana n'omukisa gwe mujja kiwulira abaana bamwe bajja kusoma n'abaana abali planning Arthur aweereza namukadde n'aleeta omwana we ku holiday coaching emmotoka namukadde oba si ekyo ng'omwana yeereeta mu namukadde daddy yampa emmotoka nga gwe toyina na mmotoka nti ng'abaana bakunyuunyuuta olina okuweerera. Anyway, but guy, I wish you a very lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to specialize. Find a way to specialize. Kyonna kyokola, find a way to specialize. May God bless you. Nze ndi accountant naye I'm doing something relevant wabula Uganda oliwo. But Kevin, accountants mulimu sente. Ninze wala kuba ndi marketer. I see money in places that people don't. No sango omuntu n'okakala ono guy, he can survive on his thing. Naye ate yakivaamu ali mukyala. Naye mbone Mukama. Hassan Waswa, I'm good. I wish you a very lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow, 7:15. Ciao.